so arrogant?
Me? What do you do around here besides walking around like you're trying to get raped?
Excuse me?
I'm not some young girl off the bus. I don't need some madam from a Shanghai whorehouse to show me the ropes.
Here's what I don't get. If women don't want to be defined by their bodies, why are they always using them to get what they want?
Maybe they aren't. Maybe men are just too easily distracted.
In this video essay, we will be talking about gender bias in the media industry, the male gaze, and women in the media.
Undergarments?
You're like the fifth person that's asking
Well, no,
that to
because
me. What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other about in interviews about their underwear?
No, because it is such a skin tight. Here's
I'll
why.
leave it up to your imagination.
Oh, see?
Okay?
Is that...
Whatever you feel like I should be wearing or not wearing under that costume.
This is not a...
Is what I...
Is it inappropriate?
To ask somebody what kind of underpants they wear?
I didn't ask you what kind.
You just asked me if I was wearing any.
Women are sexualized all the time in this industry. As you saw in the clip before, interviewers ask questions like this all the time. The focus is not on the success, achievements, and career of the actors, but instead on the type of dress she wore, her undergarments, and her body. Here is another clip that showcases sexualization of women.
There's one subject we didn't discuss. What was that? Everyone's talking about it.
What?
Well, your breasts.
My breast.
You seem to get furious when a talk show host comes up with this subject. Okay, in general, what do you think about breast implants? Just in general.
We have been tuned to think in a way where men are considered superior. Even if we do not always believe it, it is so ingrained in our society that we subconsciously accept the way things are for women in the media industry. For example, what is our perception of a movie director? What comes to our mind when we first hear the words movie director? Probably a man in a chair with a camera. If we Google these words, most of the pictures shown would be of men. It is not like there are not any female film directors, but men come to our minds first because the idea of men being more competent than women has been inculcated in everything around us by society. On average, male actors earn $1.1 million more than female actors, even if their skills and experiences are similar to each other. Women in the media are constantly portrayed as weak and frail. They often have fewer dialogues than men, because women are supposed to talk less. They also have fewer opinions and are much less likely, as compared to men, to play roles as leaders or professionals, or even portrayed as successful and independent. The Bechdel test originated from comedian Alison Bechdel. It quickly became popular among academics and was used to evaluate women's place in popular movies. For a movie to pass the Bechdel test, it needs to include at least 2 women who have at least one conversation about something other than a man. Sadly, the proportion of those movies in Hollywood is rather small. The Bechdel test was also criticized as it disregards ethnicities, ages, and leaves out other forms of expressions, such as the voiceover, in which women, and especially women of color, are largely underrepresented. Still, the Bechdel test is a great start to highlight underrepresentation. There have been many cases of sexual assault in this industry. For example, the Taylor Swift sexual assault trial was a legal case held in the United States a couple years ago. The trial involved David Mueller, a former DJ, filing for defamation against singer-songwriter Taylor Swift. But Taylor then sued him back for only $1 to set an example for everyone else. Luckily, she won the case. But in order to change the way women are treated in the media industry, we have to get used to considering both genders equal. Examples of females working in this industry must be made popular among people to make them realize that women have as much potential and talent as men do. This would also lead to women getting more and better opportunities.
Why are there not more female directors? And can you do anything to change that? I mean, you're in a position now where you can say, I'm going to work with this director. What can be done to change this? Because it hasn't changed in decades.
We need to just literally, and I'm so guilty of this, but like, if you hear about a film that's made by a woman, go and see it, regardless of whether you're interested or not, so that it makes some money. Because it's only money that's going to change.
Another problem in the media industry that acts as a catalyst for discrimination against women is underrepresentation. The article Gendered Media, The Influence of Media on Views of Gender by Julia T. Wood explores underrepresentation of women in media and how that may affect our perception of gender roles. Underrepresentation of women in the media makes them invisible and unimportant. It has been found that women make up only 16% of newscasters, and in which stories about men are included 10 times more often than ones about women. This indicates that media misrepresent actual proportions of men and women in the population. This constant distortion leads us to believe that men are the cultural standard.